I was able to buy this game because I've made $4.50 from YouTube and this game costed $4.50, so thank you. The Crooked Man is such an interesting, deep, pixelated story which genuinely blew me away because I thought, wow, it's pixelated, this must be absolute garbage. I bought it anyways because I needed some content and man, I was actually blown away. When you search up the game, this is what it tells you. David Hoover decides to move into a new apartment during a rough time in his life. After some odd occurrences, he decided to ask about the room's former owner, but learns little. What does this mean? Nothing at all. So I'm gonna play the game and tell you why the Crooked Man just like should have been really popular, I guess. So this is how I went. I'll go through it as quick as I can because guess what? For a game that I thought would be 20 minutes long was a lot longer. So here we go. I start the game and straight away get the old Crooked Man poem, which I haven't heard in like literal years. Pretty nostalgic. So I moved into my new apartment and said thanks to Paul and Marion for helping me move. Turns out Paul left his license, so I grab it and go to give it to him, and I overheard Paul and Marion pretty much talking shit about me, so I let it slide and decided to not give him his license. I head back to bed and I wake up to some crying in the middle of the night. I speak to one of the neighbors to see if it was them crying and they casually tell me to fuck off, so off I go. I head back to my hotel and I see some words written on the mirror. As you can see, it says under the bed. So yeah, believe it or not, I go to look under the bed and there is a note that someone wrote about missing their past partner or something like that. And then I go back to sleep, wake up to a phone call, and then I finally give Paul's license back. I visit the hospital to see my dying mother. She doesn't even remember me. She screams at me and I get kicked out of the hospital. I leave and I go back to my house. The TV turns on and starts to static. It says sync, as you can literally see on the screen. I go check the sync and the same poem I've seen multiple times appears again. Thank you, game. I head to bed. Some more annoying ass cries ring out while I sleep, so I wake up. I walk out of my apartment and glass breaks inside, so I go to check it out and yep, a cup broke and the coffee or something spells out help me. Pretty weird, can't lie. I'll even go speak to the landlady and ask her questions about my messed up apartment. I'm pretty much just trying to figure out who used to live there. She says that she doesn't know, so I move on. We get some cringe ass picture of him pondering. I go to sleep and I wake up to some footprints on the ground coming from a crack in the wall. I follow it and I open my little closet thing and get a piece of paper with an address on it. I go back to my room and this happens. The dude kind of overreacted though, can't lie. I spend the night at my bro Paul's house and that is the end of the introduction. Pretty fire, it took quite a while and yeah, I don't think I'll be able to refund this game anymore, so rip my $4.50. I start the next chapter at some random hotel. I enter in, I have a stroll around and I find this little quiz thing made by a kid for her parents. I continue exploring and I find some note in like the bedside table or whatever these are called, and then it cracks. I continue searching around and I found this little treasure thing from before. I guess the parents never found it. I walk around for what seems like an eternity and I hear a piano playing, so I look around for it. I eventually find it and it actually took longer than expected. Turns out it was this little girl playing it. Her name is Sissy. Funny name to be honest. I also hate how this game is capped at like 60 frames per second, but then again, the game is like 10 years old, so. Anyways, I do some puzzles around the joint and actually enter a basement. I also went on the internet here because it was pitch black and I didn't know how to whip out a lighter, but anyways, in the basement is some weird shadow, so I speak to it. It turns out it is the Crooked Man, what this game is based on. I first look at him. Oh. I run off and he grabs my legs. I kick him off and yeah, that was that. I stroll around a little bit more and it seems like the Crooked Man has got a hold of Sissy because I heard her scream. So I run to her and somehow half of the fucking floor is gone. I don't even know how this game is real, dude. I save Sissy and she starts over dramatically crying. Also, she says that she's looking for something her ex-boyfriend left her or something. I'm pretty vague about this stuff, I can't lie. I do a lot more puzzles, like this went on for a good hour and the Crooked Man eventually pulls up again. I die and have to restart the whole chapter. I hate everything in my life. A couple of hours later, I'm back to where I was and successfully pushed the Crooked Man down the hole that was inside. I do a ton more puzzles. I get trapped in the bar with the Crooked Man and he rolls my shit. I come back again and set the dude literally on fire. Also, Sissy cut herself and is just chilling on the bed. I help a bro out and I go outside and I find what Sissy is looking for this entire time in the water fountain. It was some locked box or something, I guess. I try to give it back to her, but she's already decided to dip. Anyways, I find her cornered by the Crooked Man and I face him head on with a knife. And yeah, I win. It was a pretty easy fight. I speak to Sissy and shit. I low-key bully her. She dies and I get the bad ending. So I come back and I do it again. I've been nice to her and she gives me a kiss and then she leaves. And that's the end of chapter 1. Pretty fucking good so far. So the next chapter is at some school. Pretty cool. I do a ton of exploring and a ton of looking at random puzzles and picking up stuff, and eventually I run into some random dude in the hallways. His name is ? Pretty cool. Anyways, I figure out that his name is D. I do some more walking around and I low-key break this painting and then I have no idea what happened to my next recording because it's gone. I see D again just in the classroom, just chilling there and stuff. Also, the monster hops on me again. I do some more exploring and I enter this computer thing and I start going insane and stuff because like the computer starts talking to me. Pretty fucking weird. I find D literally dying on the ground and then I die. I eventually break out and D starts resting up in the how do you say this? Infirmary. I also forgot to mention that he wants to become a lawyer and he's been studying for a test for like 8 years and he's failed it like 8 times. And at the end, I find him in this lecture room and quite frankly, I just tell him to give up on his dreams and shit, and the monster comes to fight me and once again, I shit on him. And yeah, that's that. D says his goodbyes and I'm on my way gone. Chapter 3 rocks up and I wake up in my car and I enter some weird hospital clinic thing and walk around for ages again, and then I literally do the most annoying puzzle ever. It took me so long to figure it out. Anyways, I did it and eventually I just continued to walk around again. And I also pick up some defibrillator thing from the elevator and try to open this door with it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and I spent ages, and I'm not even joking, literally ages figuring it out, when all I needed to do was look at this dead fucking cat and take a key out of him. Like what? I was so pissed. Anyways, I also meet this little stupid kid called Fluffy, and then I enter through the door to the clinic finally after literally going insane. I do some strolling and I need to find all these pieces into this puzzle thing to unlock this safe, I assume. I find Fluffy again and he decided to literally follow me around everywhere. I would rather say no, but the game doesn't really give me a choice, so now I literally have a pet following me around. Also, he gets locked into this bathroom and starts crying. Thank God he is gone. I explore the clinic area more and I see some random shadow people that just disappear. I also forgot to mention that I've been like picking up pieces for the puzzle throughout this whole time. I just forgot to say it. Also, I break Fluffy out of the bathroom with some hammer and I find out that the bro is still crying. We make our way to the roof, I go back down, and then the Crooked Man makes another appearance. I missed him, I can't lie. What am I saying? Anyways, I got all the pieces now and I put it into the puzzle and I open up the safe and I get locked up with a revolver. Hell yeah. I go back up to the roof and the Crooked Man again is there, trying to steal Fluffy away from me. I'm not really fucking with that, can't lie. So I pop some bullets into him and Fluffy starts crying again. Also, I start going insane or something and I start hearing some cries and I see that my mum is just chilling. I choke her out, which is pretty weird considering that she is my mother, but whatever, we roll. And that's the end of chapter 3. I actually really enjoyed this one other than the little kid following me around. Chapter 4 is actually played in Paul's perspective because he's been worried about David. That's me, by the way, because he's been gone for a while. Anyways, I search for David in the hospital and I find all the people I've come across recently in every place in this hospital. Pretty weird. Believe it or not, I find David on the roof. Bro is trying to kill himself and Paul talks him out of it, and that's literally it. Like, chapter 4 is done. Pretty easy, can't be lying. Chapter 5 is also quite short. It is also the last chapter. I rock up to this dude's house and I speak to some old dude and yeah, he just leaves. I enter the house and I read a bunch of notes throughout the place and I get into the last boss fight with my man Crooked. I blast bro's head off and the dude never comes back again because I scream at him, like whatever. And then I find the guy who's been causing all of this. He's also dead. Also, his name is Duke. Or Duke. I also go back to meet up with Paul and debrief or something. Also, my mum dies, kind of sad. Pretty good ending for that, other than the fact that she's dead. Also, my ex-girlfriend came back to me to top it all off. And that's the end of the game. So, The Crooked Man was actually a really deep, interesting horror game that I'm actually really happy I played. I know it seems like there isn't much, but this was just a very, very simple overlook of the game. I believe the game definitely should have gotten more attention if it wasn't released 10 years ago. But still, a very great game with some actual lessons learned. Yeah. I motivate all of you to try it out and let me know what you think. Anyways, it is 1 a.m. for me and I want to sleep, so thank you for watching and I'll see you guys later. Hope to see you again.